Hello everyone and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing a Mayflowers design. In yesterday's video, I did a continuance of my product review for Gelish Soft Gel Full Coverage Tips by removing them, and I laid down 2 coats of OPI base coat, and now I'm putting on Sally Hansen's Let's Get Digital, and we'll be putting 2 coats of this on there. So I love this color. It's like a very light aquamarine with some iridescent glitter in it. And after this first coat, you can see that it's reflecting off like this pink coral color. So when I put on the second coat, it does show off a little bit of that aquamarine color. But we're going to use this as a backdrop for our Mayflowers design. So I have a bunch of stamping plates from Born Pretty, and I don't really get to use them, and I'm not that great at it, meaning I've only done it a few times, so no expert by any means. But I'm using my Born Pretty stamping polish. I'll put the link in the description box below, but I believe this stamping plate is from Born Pretty, and the number is BPL014, and it has a bunch of random flowers on here. So I thought it'd be nice to do a reverse stamping technique. It's where you pick up the stamp on the plate like normal, but instead of directly putting it onto your nail, you take the moment to put on nail polish. In this case, I'm using stamping polish, and I'm just gonna fill in the spaces that the stamping has left. So as you see here, I'm just like lightly brushing my dotting tool in these blank spaces with some stamping polish. And just as a tip, you definitely want to gently touch the surface of the stamper with enough stamping polish, because if you don't and the dotting tool accidentally touches the dry stamp, it'll stick to it and it'll pull your design right off. So I actually had to do this. This is the 3rd time doing this. And the first time, it was more of the dotting tool sticking to the stamp issue. I actually completed the set because I don't like to quit on it. I tried to salvage the design, and after all was said and done, I just didn't think it was perfect enough. So, and I had used like maybe a total of 5 colors that wasn't the black liner, the black polish, and it just wasn't reading well. So I scratched it and I redid the design. And mind you, I had to use acetone to remove the regular nail polish, and then I had to put on another 2 coats of base coat, another 2 coats of the Sally Hensen Let's Get Digital color, and then I tried stamping again, but this time using the black polish as the outliner. And when I did it, I thought it definitely looked a lot better, but when I put my layer of top coat, the other issue that I find with stamping polish is that if you brush nail polish as you normally would on any nail surface, the stamp will smear. So although I completed the design because I commit to every design, I wasn't happy with it because um, up close the designs were smeared. So this is trial 3, and I'm carefully making sure that my dotting tool has enough stamping polish to lightly brush over the surface of the stamp. And this time I'm allowing more time to dry, although that was not an issue. The stamping polish really dries fast. But I just wanted to be sure that everything was set in place for when I did my top coat. I put a nice thick layer of top coat so that it doesn't smear to the point where I feel like maybe I over top coat, but it was fine. So rather think you put too much than not enough and then just spread it around and then end up like smearing everything. So that's what we're doing in this third time round, and I have to say that I really loved how this turned out. But it comes to show that like most of my designs aren't planned out, and I didn't have a plan for this really. I just knew I was going to use stamping plates, and I just decided to pick this one because there's a different variety of flowers that I can choose on this. But so even though I don't plan most of my designs, I usually follow through and it works out. And I think it's worked out maybe 98% of the time that I've started doing this channel. So when I screw up like I did, I was like, I thought this was going to take me just a couple of hours to do. Like it usually takes me longer with the design, the infill, how I've been going about that. I mean, using this gelish soft gel system, it already cut my time in half. And then doing stamping with regular polish, I thought it would cut my design time in half as well. But this ended up being like maybe a half day on a Saturday to do. So, well, not really, because I did the, when did I do this? I think I might have tried the first trial, let's say, on a Saturday night, and then I did the next 2 on a Sunday. So, anyway, okay, so yeah, that was me putting on a nice thick layer of top coat. I'm gonna let that dry while I start the next nail design, and my ring finger tends to be narrow and long, so I want to use this really cool design here, just testing to see it'll fit. And again, I'm going to come in with my stamping polish. Now, you only need dots of the stamping polish. Don't pour out the whole thing because, obviously you'll waste it. And it'll dry, so you want to start small anyway. So I'm speeding up the time here so we're not sitting too long. We do have 4 other nails to go through, but you get the gist of the technique. And I'm just, as I'm going, figuring out where I'm going to be putting these 2 colors. So I'm using like a light sky blue. I don't even know if that's what you would call it. And this like lilac, I guess. I don't even think you'd call it that either. It's a little darker than lilac, but um, throughout the 5 different designs on these nails, I'm thinking, okay, what kind of color combinations can I use? Now, you don't have to color each space. You can leave empty spots so that your background color can show through. After all was said and done, I mean, there are moments where you can see the background and it does look so pretty, but I feel like you can't see much of the background after I did all these nails. But yeah, I'm so happy how this turned out. This was definitely better than the other two. I probably should have taken pictures of the other two, and maybe at the end of the day it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but I don't know. To me, it just wasn't. Like, I just hate wasting a design and material, but you know, I gotta be happy with it. So, as you can see, also, I kind of changed up my norm. So, because I wanted to try the soft gel tips, and then also, my best friend's daughter's designs were meant for longer nails, at least the way that I saw them. I did switch it up and put long nails on my right hand. But yeah, so now I'll be back to short nails for my right hand every other week. And I'll be doing the long nails on my left hand, alternating every other week. So at least we're back to that. So now I gotta like, I don't know, dust off the old brain cells and figure out what designs I'm gonna do with short nails, because it's a lot harder. I mean, and it shouldn't be, because it's such it's smaller surface to cover and design, but I just don't know, you know. And like right now I have a couple of ideas that I want to do for May with my long nails that I'm dying to do. And then for my short nails, because I've been out of the loop with the other week's designs, like, it's like, okay, I gotta go back to short nails. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna make it look, easy to do, and cool, still looks cool. So I just, it's a little difficult. And I've been kind of scatterbrained lately. Just a lot of baby drama. Um not with The Sims. I'm just struggling here with just trying to get pregnant. This is you I mean, you would think it would be easy. It's not. And it's funny because decades ago someone told that to me. And I'm thinking, what do you mean? It's so easy. I know people, like, and mind you, I'm in high school and this is terrible, but like, I know a few people that are pregnant already. But anyway, I've been dealing with that stress, and I know I'm not supposed to be, so I'm trying not to be, but it's really hard. If anybody can relate, please comment below. But also, I'm just having some work stuff go on too. I mean, the struggles that I've already said I've been having, I think they've dissipated. I think I've, regained control of the reins, and I'm just making my way through work. But and I try not to talk about things that are upsetting, but this corona business, like, I just, listen, I mean, I'm the type of person that does not like to see doctors. I like to know that I'm healthy enough. I eat good foods. Like, I have my healthy weekdays. I do have my weekend cheat days. I go to the gym at least minimum 2 times a week, sometimes more. Um, back in the day, it used to be more than that. I probably should get back to that. I mean, I was, but then I just got a little lazy. So right now it's just 2 times a week. But I think I have a clean system going on. My drinks are at a minimum. I don't do drugs, this and that. Um, so I just feel like you just have to you have to take care of yourself. And then also with this COVID stuff, you just have to practice your PPE and daily hygiene, you know. But part of me feels like, okay, maybe this is a real thing, so it's the not knowing. You never know. And it's been reacting to people different. So I'm not walking around thinking that I'm like superwoman and I'm never going to get sick. But at the same time, like, um, I think I'm good enough to where even if I did, I'd be fine. But I don't even want to even go there because I don't want to find out. But it's in my rambling, I'm getting to a point. Sorry, but people at work. I mean, I had questioned it myself. If you feel like you're coming down with something, and I normally get the flu in the wintertime. One flu in the winter, one flu in the summer. Always my MO. And I haven't gotten anything since December 2019. So I know something's coming at some point. I mean, you can't go on your life not being sick at all. But man, people are showing up to work not feeling well. And turns out they are corona positive. And I'm just like, so I keep getting tested. And not that I'm like, I have my mask on. I eat lunch in my car. I stay at my desk most of the time. And I have a big thing of Lysol that I use almost daily. So I think I'm fine, but I am a little scared or paranoid or whatever, that if I hear something like that, I'm gonna go and take a test. And to do that, and I don't want to infect anybody if, let's say, I did have it. So once I know that someone tested positive and I know that I came to contact with them, um I go and take the test, and I work from home. Let's just say for the past 2 weeks, I've already done this twice. And I'm like, what the freak? If you feel like you're coming down with something, you should probably get tested and stay home, because you could be infecting other people. And I think that might have happened with what just happened a couple weeks ago. Like, this one guy came in sick, and we've had conversations, and he's kind of lackadaisical about the whole pandemic idea. And sure enough, he gets it. And then, somebody else ended up getting it. And I think they had maybe like very few interactions. Um, and I don't keep tabs of everybody, so I don't know. But he ended up testing positive. So it's like, you should always kind of be mindful of everybody else, because you don't know their life situation. What if they're living with people that are, that haven't been vaccinated or don't want to get vaccinated, and they're elderly people or whatever, sickly people? Or what if they're like pregnant or something? So that's just, I think it's kind of unfair if you walk around knowing that you feel a little off, but don't believe enough in the pandemic to, if you don't believe it for yourself, at least like kind of be courteous to the people around you that may believe in it and would want you to be healthy around them, or at least not that type of sick around them. So, yeah, just these things that have been happening lately, and I'm just trying to get back to the swing of things. Um, so it's been kind of busy, and then Mother's Day is coming up, and I just feel terrible because this is going to be the second year of Mother's Day that I haven't seen my, well, now we do virtual, and we obviously do phone calls, but it's not like I've um took the time to spend time with them, because they have their shots, I don't. So it's more protection for them, and more for me. But I don't even want to send them any, or my mom anything, or my grandmother anything, because they normally leave packages in the garage, or outside the garage, or wherever they tell them to leave it, like for a few days before they get to that package. So if I send flowers. I wanted to send flowers. If I do that, they can't leave that out for a few days. I think the flowers would either freeze or die. So it's so difficult. But I am hoping that things just calm down a little bit, because I have to regain my focus on myself. I'm doing good things with my workouts. As I may have briefly mentioned, I picked up a little boxing, so I'm doing great at that. So far, I can do 55 reps of, like, example jabs without dying. So, and the goal is to get up to 100 each exercise. So I'm doing that, and then I just want to focus on being zen, because I'm trying to grow my family. So things, life happenings. Anyway, anybody have tips on calming their chaotic lives, or busy lives, or whatever kind of a life that you need to boost off from? I'm down for taking any tips at any rate. So, as you saw, I peel the stamp off from the stamper, and I'm smushing it onto the surface of the nail. I'm using my other end of my cuticle pusher to stick the cuticle crease, so that I can trim the excess. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes when you put the cuticle other end thing, I don't even know what that's called, in the crease, sometimes it breaks off easy. But I think because the top coat just makes it really elastic, and I think you probably have to let it sit longer, it was more sticky than dry enough to break off. But I did this technique for each of the nails, and you just have to have patience with it. Some of these actually have little creases on the surface because it's stuck together while I was trying to flatten it. But, it's a design, and it's never going to be perfect. And as you can see, it's really hardly noticeable. Um, so don't mind that. And then just be very patient trimming the rest. I've seen people like pre-trim, but then you gotta like make sure that you're covering your nail fully. So I would just rather lay it down like this and then just trim around it. But make sure you get sharp detail scissors, but to be careful not to cut your cuticles. So I love this one I'm doing right now. It reminds me of a kaleidoscope, and it's off center, but you know what? That's what happens. It's a design. Okay. Last and final nail. Wow, that was a ramble, was it? This was a very busy 2 weeks, let me tell you, and it's not even over yet. I mean, not the week and not the things in my queue that I have to deal with. So, I don't know. It's so hard to tell yourself not to stress out. I think the fact of just telling yourself not to stress out is stressful. And I normally decompress with a glass of wine, but I don't think I should be doing that at any rate. And my voice is cracking already. Apologies for that. So now here I am putting on OPI top coat, and I'm just being very generous with this application. I just want to be sure that those bristles are not touching the design at all. Learned that from last time. And I put 2 coats of that. But now I'm taking my Nourish Cuticle Oil, and this is after the nails have dried, and I'm rubbing this in. My hands were super duper dry because of me redoing design twice that day. So but here you have it. This is my May Flowers design using stamping polish and stamping plates. Look how pretty it is. The detail is insane. It looks like someone sat there and had free range of line work, and it's not. And the colors work so well together. And that background, the iridescent glitter shining through, it makes it look so, like, I couldn't even find the words, but look at that thumbnail. At any rate, this is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And join me next weekend when I do my long nails. I have this really super exciting design that I want to do involving butterflies. Well, I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.